Testing, testing. Come on. Oh, there we go. We are working, baby. See if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Don't. I saw you trying to look down my sweater. Okay, so welcome back, book besties. I have some great news for you. Did I spend this morning going through every book boyfriend I've ever read and compiled a list of my top 10? Absolutely, I did that for you. Did anyone ask? No, but we're here anyway, and you're gonna come along with me as we go through my top 10 books. I have some coffee. I just made it. Ryan wanted me to show you how I make my coffee, but I forgot. So if you want to know my secret ingredient, it is Chobani creamer. Chobani, sponsor me because your creamer. Okay, I have made TikToks about this before. I am huge on like an animal-based, ancestral-based diet, and I look for real ingredients. So like anything that I eat is like every ingredient I can read, and it's got like 3 or 4 ingredients, and it's real healthy, like natural ingredients. And so creamer, normally if you look like, I don't know, Coffee Mate or like the Starbucks creamers that you would normally get, when you look at the ingredients, they have a none, right? So we found like 2 years ago this Chobani creamer, and you have to get the one because there is some that does not say on the side here. It says made with real cream. And if you look at the ingredients, it's made with milk, cream, cane sugar, Dutch cocoa, natural flavors, and sea salt. So like obviously it's not like the best one because it has more than the 4 ingredients I normally stick to, but I don't care. It's better than putting butter in my coffee. I've seen people do that, and no thank you. They used to have a cookies and cream one, and I don't find it anymore, but gosh, that was so good. But anyway, so now I'm caffeinated. I went to the gym earlier today. If you didn't know, I am actually on day 36 of 75 hard, which is like a fitness challenge that you have to like, for 75 days, you have to work out twice a day and you have to stick to a diet. Like I said, I already kind of explained the diet quickly, but it's been good. Like this time around, I did it once last year around this time. So normally January 1st, I start it. So that way by mid-March, I'm good to go, ready for the summer. But this year, it's going much better than last year. In fact, like I haven't had any days that I'm like, what the heck? Today was the first day that I was like, I think I'm dying a little bit inside. Like we went to the gym, we did legs, but I had done legs last night as a Pilates thing with Kels. And today it sucked. My leg day sucked. I feel like I was gonna pass out. Then afterwards, I was so hungry. I had eaten before the gym, but I don't think I was eating enough. Like, I genuinely don't think I'm eating enough. And so we went to Costco and we got like beef sticks from Costco because we didn't have any. Because I was like, Ryan, I don't think I'm getting enough protein. So we went there and that was a cluster. Like, why at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday are so many people at Costco? Like, get a job, you know? But anyway, yeah, that was my like literal afternoon adventure, but we have made it and now I'm ready. I have a stack full of books here to talk about. So let me turn on some lights so you guys can see better and let's get started. Okay, so I did pull down all the books for this video from my library, which it's so ironic because as a book talker / booktuber, I love my books where they're at. And I try so hard to not pull down my books as often as possible because I don't feel like putting them back. I'm so lazy. Like once they're down, I'm like, so, and then I don't like want to remember where I had them, but Ryan's gotten really good that he actually knows where a lot of them are. So I'm like, can you help me put my books up? And he's like, yeah, and he'll put them up. But obviously for this video, oh my gosh, I had to pull them all down and look how big. Holy cow. Just pose with my butt. It's gonna be a thumbnail. Oh my gosh. So why did I decide to do this? My friend Kenya from book club, she has a notes app that keeps like her ranking of her top favorite book boyfriends. And I swear, I think hers has like more like 20 or 25. She has a lot more than I do. And I love the idea of doing that. And every time she reads a book, she will rearrange it depending on if that book boyfriend like made it to the list or not. And her favorite book boyfriend is Zayden Ryerson. And we're actually currently reading the Imperial series. Imperium? what do you call that? Anyway, the girlies that get it. I read Fourth Wing, and now I'm reading Iron Flame. And so it's a running joke that Zayden Ryerson is the only book boyfriend she will not share. And so we like to tease her that we are going to come for her book boyfriend. So you probably already could tell I may or may not be coming for her book boyfriend today. So let's see where he ranks in my top 10. Okay, so in 10th place, I actually have Logan from, what's his last name? Logan Barrett, something like that, from the Mind F series. So I actually just finished rereading this book. I forgot after reading it the first time how much I love Logan. And I think it just got overshadowed by how much of a bad bee Lana is and like all the traumatic things she has to go through. But Logan is perfection. He starts off, he is sweet, he's flirty, like, I don't know. Like, there's just something about his aura that I was like, why did I forget about him? And I'm like, oh yeah, you get to like 50% of the book and you're like, that's why I forget about how perfect he is. Normally I read a lot about like these dark MMCs that don't care about anybody. Logan is not that. Like, he is so sweet, so caring, so like golden retriever, and it is perfect for Lana. And therefore I love his role in her life because she needs that after everything she's went through. So for that, Logan, whatever your last name is, you have made it on the list. Number 10 book boyfriend. And then in 9th place, I have William Grayson III. So, and I'll just do 8 and 9 together. So, and then in 8th place, I have Damon Torrance. So these two guys are my favorite in the Devil's Night series. Like, I was thinking earlier, if I was stranded on a desert island and I had to bring some books, I wouldn't even bother to bring the whole Devil's Night series. I would just bring these two because they are my favorite. However, Damon is more my baby than Will is, but Will is Damon's baby. So I feel like the two have to be together always, all 3 times. So I put William as number 9. He's goofy, he's silly, he's fun. And then Damon is my like broody, misunderstood MMC that once you get to understand him, you fall in love with him. Not everybody though. I will admit that I understand a lot of people don't fall in love with him, but the people that do. I said do. I'm not editing that out. Okay, where am I at? Number 7? I can't count. Okay, number 7 is Theo from Reckless. So this is actually the 4th book, I believe, in the Elsie Silver Chestnut Spring series. Listen to me. I normally, again, go for a broody MMC, enemies to lovers, stuff like that. Theo is the exception. This man is so funny. Like, everything about him is funny. He is a rodeo, like, I always do this. I want to say rodeo clown. That's not it. He rides in the rodeo. He's a bull rider. This is a pregnancy trope. Like, you will learn that, like, I don't know, 5% in. I don't care about pregnancy tropes, but if I did not like pregnancy tropes, I still would like this book because it's so well done. Theo is perfection. She does make you hate Theo, though, in, like, the first 15%, so, like, just be aware of that. But, like, he'll make up to you, I promise. Okay, 6th place. I love this man so much. So this is Cameron Hawke. I talk about MMCs all the damn time, but I rarely say the terms, I will take 0 criticism on a character. And here's why. I know what I read. I'm not dumb. I can self-reflect, okay? Most of the MMCs I read about have reasons for people to criticize. So I can't say that. However, Cameron Hawke, you cannot say anything bad about him. So the plot around this one does include a cheating trope, which normally people are like, no cheating trope. But here's the thing. If the cheating is happening amongst the main characters, I feel like there's a slide, right? Because you're going to end up hating the boyfriend that she's with now. You're going to end up loving Hawke, and then they're going to end up together. And everything is as it should be, right? So love this book and love this man. Okay, I might get hate for this, but number 5 is Christian Harper. He, in my opinion, is top Twisted men. Okay, out of all of these, I read the Twisted series way before any dark romance, and I should have known dark romance was going to be my vibe after reading this book and being like, why on earth did I love the fact that he found her stalker and unalived him? Like, this is how all love should be, okay? He's billionaire. He is, let me take you out on a yacht. He is, let me use some ice cubes on your body. Like, okay, Christian. Again, it's been almost 3 years since I've read this book, and I love him. When he wrote her the letters, like there's going to be a point in the book that he has to write her letters, I sobbed. There was one, oh my gosh, I'll never find it. Never gonna find it. I'm never gonna find it. All I know is there's one of the letters that he like breaks down. Like every day he's just writing casually, and one day he breaks out down and he's like, "Butterfly, I'm trying," or something like that. And I was like, my baby, he's so heartbroken. So for that, Christian Harper will always be in my top 10 and currently ranked at number 5. Number 4 belongs to Daddy Cade. Okay, again in the Chestnut Springs series. This is a single dad nanny romance. Like, nanny shows up in a coffee shop, single dad standing behind her. She drops her panties because she has an extra set in her purse. You never know when you need them, right? And he manages to pick them up, hand them to her. He's so grumpy. Like, he is always in a sour mood. She is not, though. She is the life of the party. So she makes a joke. He doesn't like the joke, whatever the case might be. Turns out it's his new nanny that's in town to come like watch his son. Their dynamic is so much fun. She spends all of her day trying to get under his skin, and my gosh, is she good at it. She will show up at the hot tub at the end of the night in her tiny little bikinis, and he's like, And then all of a sudden he starts making coffee for her in the morning. Like, ugh, I love a grumpy single dad romance. I don't know if it's because I married a single dad, but like, Daddy Cade is it. Also, if you don't like cowboy romances, I still hear people that hate cowboy romances love this book. So it is my favorite of the Chestnut Springs series. So if you're going to pick up this book. I actually ironically read it first, not realizing Flawless was first. I read this first. Can't be beat. All right, we're getting close to number 1. Okay, number 3 is Josh from Lights Out, but we're not surprised, right? So I listened to this as the audiobook. It is done by Jacob Morgan. Do not read this book. Listen to it. It's pure perfection. Josh is so funny. It's supposed to be a dark romance. I like to call it like a dark romance comedy because Josh is so funny. He ends up finding this girl that's like his roommate's ex friends with benefits. And he finds out that she loves the thirst traps he puts on online in his mask. So he's like, wow, she's kind of into my vibe. So he decides to sneak into her house and make a thirst trap on her bed. Because, like, why not? While she's in the hospital. And she's watching it and she's like, because she's a nurse. She's not hurt. But she's like, oh my gosh, wow, that could have been me. That looks like my comforter. It is, Allie. He's in your house. But Allie has a cat, and so Josh just like sneaks in and like befriends the cat, and they're best friends. He's always like wearing like a mask of some sort, and then at one point the mask gets in front of his eyes, and Allie's sleeping there, and she says something like, what do you think that is? And he's like, I don't know. I've gone blind, because he makes like a Batman voice. I don't know how else to describe it except for read it. There is a trigger in there about accidental cannibalism. I get that a lot. Listen to me. Don't let it scare you. It like pops up twice, and it's just like a memory because Josh's dad is a serial unaliver, and there was just a way he had to dispose of said unalive people. If you watch Criminal Minds or any kind of anything, compared to, like, if you read Butcher and Blackbird, this is nothing, okay? Like, you're gonna be just fine. So I promise you it's not so bad. Love him. Number 2, who's it gonna be? It is gonna be Xaden. At this point in time, where I'm at in Iron Flame, Xaden Ryerson is number 2 for me. So when I was reading Fourth Wing, I did not necessarily get the Xaden hype, but hold up. Not that I didn't like him, but like, you don't see him a lot. Like, you don't get a whole lot of reaction from him. You get a lot of the enemies. You get a lot of yearning, and then they're together for a short stint, and then it's kind of over. And now I'm in Iron Flame, and I'm about 40 or 50% in. So I've already gotten the slow burn that is Iron Flame. They are finally together again, and I love him. Like, I love him. I love that he doesn't use anything against her to get her back, like anything like that. So he is slowly becoming just that guy for me, like perfection. I love how he protects her. I love, like, I've always loved, like in this book, how he doesn't hold her back. Like, he pushes her to her limits, knowing that she can handle it, and she is that girl. She is that bee. You know what I mean? So I love him for that. Always have. And I'm loving to see more dynamic from him in book 2. I was told that by Onyx Storm that he would be my #1 book boyfriend, so we're gonna see. Kenya, I'm coming for your man. All right, so that leaves #1 spot. Who do we think? Who do we think? Some of you may have already seen it, but it is Noah Riley, okay, from Say You Swear. So I read this like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, and I still think about Noah daily. Like I still think about this book daily. And I recommend this like often, but then I started to realize it's just not everyone's vibe. Like you either love it or you hate it. And hear me out. It is like an early college romance. They did just finish high school. They are now going to college. It is a love triangle romance. They are young. Like to me, when I read a book like this, like I'm able to picture myself when I was in college. So I don't picture myself as a 32-year-old woman reading this book. I am alongside them when I read it. So I try to recommend this book to my mom because I was like, oh, it's sweet. Like there is some spice, but this is not like, oh my gosh, a smutty book. And she's like, Jess, I'm in my 50s. I don't care about reading about college kids. And I'm like, fair enough. So if that's not your vibe, obviously this isn't going to be for you. But the girlies that get it, get it. This book, like, oh my gosh, it will tear your heart out. Like the plot twist in this book is insane. Going completely blind, but Noah Riley is perfection. Like the love and grace and patience he has is astonishing. Like for his mom, for her, I can't even remember her name. Do we know her name? I don't know. I think it starts with an A. I don't care because I love Noah. But yes, where I'm at right now, he is my #1. I don't know if he can get topped because he's just perfection. But we will see. Xaden is a very close second, and I do think he has a fighting chance. So I am excited to see once I finish Onyx Storm if I'm going to have a little bit of a different opinion. But as of right now, those are my top 10 book boyfriends. If you have any that you highly recommend that is your top book boyfriend, be sure to let me know in the comments so I will check it out. Otherwise, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future updates or videos. See you next time.